move to question 1.2. You'll notice there's 4 clocks in the diagram. Inside each clock, we talk about a profit and a selling price. Question 1.2.1 asks us to define the term cost price. Before we define the cost price, we need to make sure that we understand the basic principle of the supply chain within the retailing system. So inside the retailing system, you, the customer, will go to the shop to buy groceries or any food item. But the shop itself also need to go somewhere to buy their stock. He needs to go to the warehouse to get all its stock. So this is the basic principle. The customer don't go to the warehouse every time to buy his normal bread and butter. He will go to the shop to buy his bread and milk and butter. Now, how it works, there's a selling price and then there's the cost price. Now, the selling price is what the shop will ask you. That is what the customer will pay. That is the selling price, which is determined by the shop itself. The cost price is what the shop will pay at the warehouse. That is what the warehouse actually asks the shop. So that is where it comes in with a profit. So the whole point is the shop wants to make a profit. So he needs to get it cheaper from the warehouse and it will sell it at a higher price so that you can make a profit. That is the whole point of running a business. So now the question is, explain the term cost price. So you can explain it in your own words, either from your textbook definition, or you can paraphrase it. So in my opinion, I would say the term cost price is what the shop or the shop owner would pay from the warehouse. That is the term cost price. If they would ask me, define the term selling price, I would then say selling price is what the shop charges the customer. Now moving to question 1.2.2, calculate the cost price of clock A, excluding VAT. Now we don't need to worry about the exclusion of VAT because according to the footnote, all prices exclude 14% VAT. So VAT is already been excluded. So we can straight away calculate the cost price of clock A. So we need to look at clock A, not any other clock in this question. So let me give you the basic formula to determine the cost price now that we know how the supply chain system works. So cost price equals to selling price minus my profit. So this means if I deduct the profit from my selling price, I would get the actual price that the shop got it by the warehouse. So in this case, it would be 3350 minus 914. I would leave it to you to get the answer from your calculators. So selling price minus profit would get my actual cost price. Moving to question 1.2.3, write down the time on clock B using the 24-hour format if it represents the time in the evening. So it's 3 keywords: clock B, 24-hour format, and evening. Before we answer that, we need to understand the difference between an analog clock. Analog clock is basically what we have in front of us. All these clocks here are analog clocks. Then we have a digital clock. A digital clock, it's basically where you would see it will display the time, hours and minutes. You will only see digits. So you won't see an analog that is moving. You will only see, so the technology changed, which work basically with batteries. So you have the hours and you have the minutes. Let me make it more clear. So you might see something like this: 01 14, which is 14 minutes past 1. So that's a digital clock. Now the question asks us to write it in the 24-hour format. So remember, there's a 12-hour format, and there's also a 24-hour format. The reason why I'm telling you this is because the exam papers might ask you it in a different way. Then you already understand the basic concept behind this. If it's a 12-hour format, then the maximum it can go here is 12. If it's in 24-hour format, then it can go above the 12. It can go 23 would be the highest. As soon as it reaches 24, then it will be 00, 0 hours, 0 minutes. So this is the difference. This is 12-hour, this is 24-hour format when it comes to digital clocks. So the question actually asks us to write it in the 24-hour format, not in the 12-hour format. So looking at clock B, the time reads, it's 10 o'clock in hours, and it's almost 10 minutes. To be accurate, it reads as 8 minutes. So basically in 12-hour format it would be 10:08, 10 hours 8 minutes. That is in 12-hour format. If it's on 24-hour format, it could be either again 10:08 or it could be 22:08. Now where the difference is, let me first remove the 12 hours because we're not interested in the 12-hour format. Where the difference come in, you will get AM, which is your morning time, and then you get PM, which is the evening. Now depending how the question asks us, so we want it in the evening time. So evening time, you will always have more than 19. So it will be 19 or 20, 21, 22, 23. That's usually your evening hours. If it's morning, then it will be 01, 02 up until 15 when it's in the afternoon. So that's basically how we understand it, evening. So in other words, to write clock B's time in the evening using the 24-hour system, it would be 10 p.m. 08 minutes. So 10 p.m. means 22 hours and 08 minutes. Our last question, 1.2.4, calculate the total profit if all 4 clocks are sold. Now basically the total mean you add up all the clocks, but they ask us the total profit. So it's this profit plus this profit plus this profit plus this profit. We're not adding up the selling prices, we add up only the profits. So when you add profit A plus profit B plus profit C plus profit D, you will get your total. Once again, I will leave it to you to determine that answer.